we are going to understand about control flow statements. Control flow statements are divided into two. One is conditional or branching statements. Next one is looping statements. First of all, we are going to understand about the conditional statements. That is if else if and a switch. Okay, so these particular conditional statements we are going to understand first. Okay, so this is what happens with the conditional or branching statements. What purpose these statements are used? Okay, so these statements are used to execute the statements based upon the condition. What do you mean by that? Let me explain here. Suppose what happens is, now I want to execute some instructions. Okay, there are some instructions present in the program, 1 2 like this, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 instructions are present. Okay, so what happens here, it is the instructions will execute one after the other. Like first statement will execute in the program, then second statement, third, like this, one statement after the other sequentially it will execute. Okay, so this is a general flow of execution of statements in the program. Now what happens here, it is, now I am going to write what I am going to do here, it is, let's say that. So yes, please just wait. Okay, right. So what I would like to do here, it is, I want to execute the instructions in different way. What do you mean by that? Means execute first statement, second statement, third statement. On the fourth statement, okay, fourth statement, I would like to take a condition. Okay, here I am going to make a condition. Okay, condition whether this fourth statement should be executed or not. Okay, so based upon the condition, this fourth statement may execute or may not execute. Okay, therefore again I execute write fifth statement and sixth statement, then 7 8 and ninth statement. Again I would like to apply some condition over here. The condition I would like to apply, what is that condition? These statements may execute these statements or may not execute. Okay, so like this I want to execute or I want to omit that particular statements under execution. Okay, so like this, based upon the condition, so I may or I may not allow the statements to execute. How it can be done? This is done by using what? The conditional statements. This can be done by using what? Conditional statements, or what we called as branching statements. Okay, so now we are going to understand these are three types, please. If, okay, if else, and if else if. These are the three statements that we are going to understand under these conditional statements mainly. Okay, so let us start with the first one. What's the first one? Let us see here the first one, please. Okay, the first one is what? Simple if statement. Okay, let's see here. This is what? If statement. First one, if statement. Okay, so what does this if statement do? Executes, means if statement allows to execute a block of code if the specified condition is true. If the condition is true, it allows to execute a set of statements. Okay, so the syntax you can see from here. If conditions, true statements, and close the flower base. Okay, so how it is going to work, let me explain here with the help of this particular diagram. Okay, so here, if a condition may be here, condition can be either true, it can be false. Okay, condition can be true or it can be what? False, please. Okay, right. If the condition is true, see, the block starts from here, the block ends here. Okay, this is called as block of statements, what we call as. So if the condition is true, then the statements present in the this particular if block, the true statements present in the if block will be executed. Okay, and if the condition is false, it will come out of this particular if block. It will come out of the block. Okay, means these true statements present in the if block does not execute. Is that clear? I repeat once again. If condition we have to give in the parenthesis. Okay, this parenthesis in which you have to give the conditions. Okay, then the if statement starts with a flower base here and it ends with a flower base here. Okay, right. So if the conditions becomes true, if the condition become true, then it enters into the if block and the true statements will execute. Okay, so if the condition is false, it will come out of the if block. This is the how the if condition, if statement behaves in the programming language. Okay, so let me tell you please once again, because the syntax is very important, please let me tell you here once again. If condition, open the flower base, close the flower base. Here you can write the statements. Here you can write what? Statements. Okay. So once again, please. This condition can be either true or this condition can be false. Okay. If the condition is true, it goes into the if and execute the statements. Okay. Then come out of. Okay. Similarly, if the condition is false, it will directly come out of this particular if condition and the statements does not execute. Okay. So this is the working condition, or what we call as the behavior of if statement in the program, right? Let us take some examples and we will study, please. Let us understand here. Okay. Please remember this particular syntax, because through this syntax only now we are going to write the program. Okay. Let us take one program and we will study. What is the program? Let us go here and we'll go with. Okay. Let me create one new project. So this is what file, new project I am going to create, please. So here others, right. So right now Java project, select the Java project and next. Okay. So here I am going to give the prop file name, that is what conditional statements. Let's say conditional statements. Conditional statements is the project name, and I just click on what finish. Okay. So now it is creating what it is creating, please. It is creating the project. Okay. So this is what the project that is creating. Conditional statement project it is going to create. No conditional statements that is created over here, please. So what I do is now, okay, expand this particular project and right click on the src folder, and now you select what, something called as new, and go to the class. Okay. So the first program is if okay, if statement. I am going to write the program name is if statement 1. Okay. If statement 1 is the first program that I am writing, and I check this particular checkbox, public static void main, and I finish. Okay, right. Let us understand here one program. So what's the program I would like to write here is I put a comment here. What's the comment here? It is okay, read two numbers and print what? Biggest. This is what the program. So read two numbers and print the biggest. So to read the two numbers, first of all what we need to do is import what we say that, please, java dot util dot scanner. Do you remember scanner? Scanner is used to read the values from keyboard. So here I am going to write the scanner. Okay, scanner sc is equal to new of scanner of okay system.in, which is used to read the value from keyboard, right? Integer a comma b. Then what I am going to do is sys out. Okay, now I am going to say enter a. Okay, enter a. Now I am going to read the value for a. A is equal to sc dot next integer. Okay, then I read the value for b, copy paste this particular instruction. Now I am going to say that b, and here also I make it what, b, right? So here we are reading the value for a, reading the value for b. Okay, now we have to find out the biggest of a and b. So this a and b biggest we have to find out. Okay, so what are the different possibilities are there? Let me, okay, so let me minimize this one. Okay, right. Now let me open this particular board. Okay, in the board I am going to explain here. Okay, now we have to find out the biggest of a and b. A and b biggest we would like to find out. Okay, so which is the biggest? A is biggest or b is the biggest? How can we find which is the biggest? Okay, so the condition is like this, simple. If at all, okay, if at all a is greater than b, if at all a is greater than b, then what is that? Then a is big. Okay, simple. I am writing a is big. Okay, similarly if b is greater than a, then what we can say is b is big. These are the possibilities. Okay, so the condition is if a is greater than b, then a is the big. Okay, if b is greater than a, then b is the big. Okay, right. There is other possibilities also present, that if a and b both are equal, if a is equal to b, if both are equal, okay, then I can say is a and b are equal. A and b are what? Equal. Okay, so how many possibilities are there here? three possibilities are there. So three conditions, what we call as three conditions are there. Okay, now for these three conditions, now we have to write the program. Okay, so this is the general analysis. Now we have to write the program, please. So how can we write the program? Let us understand this particular thing. So I am going to write the code here. Let me show you the code. Okay, let's say that. So what the program that I can write now, please? Okay, so the condition is if at all, if A is greater than B. So you write the statements within the flower basis. Okay, now tell me, if A is greater than B. Okay, if A is greater than B, A is big. So now I am going to print this out. What is A is, okay, biggest is equal to A. So we will not write A is big. In general we'll say A is big, but here we write biggest is equal to A. Okay, first possibility completed. Next, if second condition, if B is greater than A, then what? So I can say here, if B is greater than A, in case B is greater than A. So all possibilities I am writing here, please. Okay, if B is greater than A, sys out, I can say that, okay, biggest is equal to plus what? B. So like this, biggest is equal to, okay, right. Third condition, what's the third condition, please? Let me write here third condition. The third condition is if at all A is equal to B, then I can say sys out. Okay, now I can say both are equal. Let's say I change the message like both are equal. Okay, so three conditions I am writing in the programming language like this. So in the programming language you have to follow the syntax. If okay, if then you have to write the condition, and then within the flower basis you have to write the statements that you want to execute if the condition is what? True. Okay, so if this condition, okay, I repeat here, if this condition is true, okay, if this condition is true, now these statements will execute. If this condition is true, this statement it will execute. If this condition is true, this statement will execute. Okay, so let me execute this program and show you what is the output that you are going to get. So let me run the program. Okay, it is asking enter A. I am giving 10. Okay, then I am giving what? Enter B, 2 I am giving. Now it's saying what? Now biggest is equal to 10. Yes or no? Right. So it is going to check the condition. If A, what's the value of A I have given? 10. And for B I am giving what? 2. So if 10 is greater than 2, yes, true. True means it will go into the if and it will print the statement biggest is equal to 10. Okay. Second condition also it will check. B is greater than A, B is 2, A is 10. So 2 is greater than A, 10, no, false. False means now it will come out of this if statement, means it will not execute the statement. Similarly, if A and B, and third condition it will check again. Okay, if A and B both are equal, no, both are not equal, therefore the condition becomes false and it will come out of this if statement. Okay, this is how it is executed. So once again I run the program, so what happens when I run the program? Okay, second time, let me show you. I give the number like 10, then I give the number 20. Now it's getting biggest is equal to what? 20. How it is happening? Let us see now. So what is the A? A is 10, B is what? 20. Now tell me, if A is greater than B, 10 is greater than 20, no, false, therefore it will come out of. Now then, if B is greater than A, B is 20, A is 10, 20 is greater than 10, yes, true. True means go here and it will print on the monitor biggest is equal to B value, it will print the B value is 20. Okay, and this condition becomes false, it will come out of. Okay, similarly, if I run the program third time, where I am going to give 10 and 10 and say both are equal, means these two conditions becomes false and this condition become true and go into the if and it will execute the statement. Okay, so this is how can we write the programs using what? If statement. Is that clear? Right? Fine. Now let us okay, let me copy this program and paste in this particular Word files for your okay, so I will send this particular thing to you. Okay, right, this is what I will say. I will attach this particular notes. Okay, right. Then next program I would like to go with, please. Next program, please. Okay, next program. What's the next program that I would like to go? Here it is, right. Okay, if statement. Then let me write the question once again. Read, right, let me say that. Read a number and print it is odd or what? Even number. Okay, read a number and print it is odd or even. Then what is this odd or even number? Let us understand this particular thing now. Okay, odd or even number, right? Let's say, So let me erase this particular code first of all. Okay, in the same program only I am doing all this particular coding, please. I am not taking the other classes. Okay, here itself I am writing, right? Fine. So what is happening here? It is now let us erase this particular board also, right? Now how can we say, how can we find out the biggest of this particular read a number and print it is an odd or even. Okay, first of all, read a number, I read a number. Okay, n is a variable I'm taking, and I read a number first of all. Sys out. Okay, sys out, I read a number, please. Okay, what is that, okay, go here and I types here enter number. Okay, enter number, right? Enter number, right? Now the enter number, that number I am reading, n is equal to sec dot next int. Okay, now this is what I read. So I have read the number into the n. Now n contains one number, assume. Okay, n contains one number, n contain a number. Okay, n contain a number. So what are the number it may be? Okay, now I have to find out whether n is an odd number or even number. Now we have to find out n is an odd number or even number. So what is an odd number? What is an odd number? What is an odd number? Any number divisible by 2. Any number divisible by 2 and remainder is 1. Then n is odd number. Then n is odd number. Okay, this is the first statement. What is an even number? Any number if divided by 2 and whose remainder is equal to 0, then we can say n is even number. This is how we are going to, okay, this is how we are going to find the conditions for odd number and what, even number. Okay, let us see an example. Let me write here, please. Let us take here, another color. Okay, for pen color, right? This is, let's say, assume n is equal to, okay, now how can we write the condition? Let's say that I write the program itself here. Okay, the code I am going to write, the code snippet I am going to write here. Let me write the code here, right? Let me write the code. Okay, so right, let me write the code here, please. Right, so here I am going to write the condition. How can I write the condition? If at all n is a number divided by 2 and whose remainder is 1, okay, I am going to write in the flower base, I am going to write SOP. What I am going to say, please, here, it is an odd number. Okay, odd number is equal to plus n is an odd number. Okay, similarly I am going to write another condition, that if n modulus 2 is equal to 0, then I am going to write SOP, that is what, even number is equal to plus n is an even number. Okay, so this is what the program. So let us say how it is going to work. Okay, let's say, now assume that if n is equal to, okay, here I say that read n. Okay, assume that n is equal to 8 I have given. Okay, now n modulus 2, 8 modulus 2, what's the remainder of 8 modulus 2, please? 8 divided by 2, 2 4s are 8, and you will get the remainder is 0. Okay, remainder is what? 0. So as you got 0 here, 0 is equal to 1. No, this condition becomes false. Therefore, come out of this if statement. Okay. Now again it will apply the condition over here. Now 8 divided by 2. What's 8 divided by 2? 8 is, okay, 0. Remainder 0. Then 0 is equal to 0. Yes, this condition becomes true. Therefore, the statement will be executed and it will substitute even number. Okay, even number 8. Got it? Right? This is how it is going to work. Now suppose, assume that, now let us say that I have given n is equal to, okay, n is equal to 9 I have given, assume n is equal to 9. Now tell me, if n modulus 2, what is n modulus 2? 9 modulus 2, what is that? Is 2 4s are 8 and 1 will be the remainder. Okay, remainder. So what is the remainder you got now? 1 here. Okay, 1. So n modulus 2, n is how much? 9. 9 modulus 2, remainder is what? 1. See, 1 you got it. 1. Is this 1 is equal to 1? Yes, true. True means now this statement will execute and say that odd number 9. 9 is an odd number you are going to get. Okay, come out of the if statement. The next condition it will check if n means 9. 9 modulus 2 is how much? 1. The remainder is 1. 1 is equal to 0. No, this case it is false. As it is false, now what happens please? If it is false, it will come out of this if statement. Okay, now it's printing whether it is an odd number or even number or not. Okay, so therefore let us write the same code over here please. Let me write the same code over here. Okay, let me show you here. If at all n modulus 2 whose remainder is equal to 1, then I say that sys out what I say that, okay, sys out what is that is odd number is equal to plus n is an odd number. Then I write the condition if at all n modulus 2 is equal to 0, then I can say that sys out, okay, sys out what I say, then it is even number. Okay, even number. What is that even number is? Plus n. N is an even number. Okay, this is the program. Now we are going to execute this particular program, please. Now we are going to execute this particular program and see what is the output you'll get. Let me run the program. The program n is equal to how much? I am giving, let's say 8. See, odd even number ochinda. Okay, this is the even number, not event number, even number. Okay, right. Now let me run this particular program once again, where now I am going to give you what 9. So you can see that odd number 9. Okay, so you have to understand the logic how this is going on in the program. Okay, fine. This is the control A, control C, and here I am going to send this particular code, the second program of on the if statement. If statement, got it? Right. This is what if statement 2. Let me say that is a 2. Okay, 2. Right. Now similarly, now I am going to give you some example programs. So let me copy paste this particular thing also please. Copy paste this particular okay, print screen, and this also I am going to show you. Right, I am going to paste this particular program over here. Right, better for your reference. Let's save it. Okay, fine. Now yeah, this is what we have completed. Now let me give you some practice questions for you. You better practice these programs on this. Okay, so let me give you some practice. Okay, practice here, not here actually. The statement you have to actually right. Okay, sorry, control that. Okay, here I have to give the practice. Okay, so practice questions. Okay, practice questions or practice problems, whatever it may be. Right, now let's say that first one. What the program that I'm going to give you here, it is the first one is, let us say that now what you do is you read okay, right. So I say that read, okay, read year and print it is leap year or not, leap year or not, leap year or not. This is the program. Read year and okay, print leap year or not. Let me give you some instructions very clearly how to write. Okay, first of all, read year. Okay, read year. Year is an integer variable, integer year, like this, integer year. Okay, like this. Okay, read the year. Okay, let me say that. Okay, read the year first of all. Okay, read the year. After this particular thing, what we do is you check the condition. What is the logic for this particular year? So I write if year divided by 4 is equal 0. If divided by 4 is equal 0, then it is what? Leap year. Okay, leap year. Okay, right. So for every 4 years, in general, for every 4 years you will get a leap year. Every 4 years. So we can write if year modulus 4. So if year is divisible by 4 and remainder is 0, means now the year is a leap year. Now if at all year, if year divided by 4 and whose remainder not is equal to 0, if it is not 0, then it is not a leap year. Okay, no, it is not a leap year. So I am giving the conditions also, right? So based upon these conditions, you write the programs, please. Okay, next number 2, read. Okay, read age and print. Okay, and print eligible to vote or not, eligible to vote or not. Okay, so what you need to do here it is, I will give this, I will give you the okay, the logic. First of all, you have to read what age. Age is the integer variable again. Okay, age is the integer variable. Okay, read age. Now, what is the eligibility? If age is greater than is equal to 18, then eligible to vote. Otherwise, eligible is not eligible to vote. Okay. So, if at all, the age is greater than is equal to 18, then eligible to vote. Then what? Then eligible, eligible, eligible to vote. You have to print a message called as eligible to vote. That's it. Enough. Okay. If at all, the age is less than 18, then you have to print a message, that not eligible, not eligible, eligible to what? Vote. Okay, this is the second program. And the third program I am going to give here, the third program is, right, read a number. Okay, read a number and print it is positive or negative. Okay, positive or negative, you have to print the message. Okay, this is the program. So how can we write it? Let us say that, let us understand what is that. Okay, read. So what you do is you read read n. Let me say that read n, and n is the integer variable. Okay, read n. Okay, read n. So what is the positive number? What is the negative number? If at all n value is greater than or is equal to 0, then n is what? N is what? Positive number. Positive number. Okay. If at all the value present in the n, if it is less than 0, then n is what? Negative. Okay. Negative number. Negative number. So these three problems you practice. This is a simple program that I am giving. Please you practice this particular questions. Okay. So in the next class we are going to understand the if statement, if else statement. Okay. But remember please, okay, first of all you have to remember the syntax. Syntax is most important thing. Remember the syntax. According to the syntax only you have to write the programs. Okay. So this is what the syntax you have to follow. Okay. Thank you please.